So right now I'm at the United Hotel on Memorial, which is the hotel where D'Angelo first brought me and paid for the week. And I stayed at the Budgetel for a week, and then somebody got me a room here for the night. And it's checkout time and I have to leave. So I'm dragging this suitcase, and I tried to downsize on everything, but I'm unable to do that because I actually need this stuff for my hygiene. I need clothes. I need the things that I possess, and that's a part of the conspiracy. Hold on, I don't want to go over here. He's making all this noise. There's this conspiracy to leave me outside knowing that I'm pregnant and knowing that I was released from this jail on these charges after they tortured me and the baby in the facility past my due date. So nothing that they can say that I did to my pregnancy is my fault. They kept me in the jail for 10 months, torturing and starving me and poisoning my food and trying to get correctional guards to jump on me in the back of the Montgomery County Jail in Conroe, Texas. All my family was aware of this. All of the African Americans who were contacted on my behalf were aware of this. The medical infirmary in the jail was aware that I was pregnant and that I was being poisoned and starved in the back of the jail for shooting a white man in self-defense. And the racist white Americans were doing witchcraft, threatening to rape my little boy who I was protecting during the shooting. My son was 22 months old, and his father, Austin John Metter, is a convicted felon with 8 charges, including violent charges. He was attacking me and my son. I went into Baytown Seafood because he ran me from my home, attacking me in my home, and the police were called over a several-week period. He had just been released from prison for assault, and he came into my home attacking me over several weeks, and the police were called. He impregnated me, he was raping me, and I started bleeding inside of the home. The police were working with his mother, his white Caucasian adopted mother. My child father is white. They were working with her to not arrest him from my apartment when he was abusing me in my house, because she said she did not want Austin John Metter to go back to prison because he had just been released from prison, and he was attacking me inside of my home, and he was also attacking my son from the ages of 20 months old to 22 months old, from the time that he was released from prison up until the shooting. And I could not depend on the police department. He was fleeing from the police to Cynthia O'Vera's house, and she was hiding him in her home and calling the police department, making up lies, asking the police not to send him back to jail. Cynthia O'Vera was calling the police department, and she told me that she was afraid for Austin to go get to prison again because she was afraid that he would be killed. Cynthia O'Vera used to work at a prison, and she said she saw a lot of things in the prison. Her son, Austin John Metter, has been in and out of the county on drug charges, theft charges, and assault charges. And he went to prison and got out of prison continuing to do the same exact behaviors, and he was attacking me in my home. He has also been violent with Cynthia O'Vera and violent with my son, who at the time was not even 2 years old, and he was being violent with his own father. And so he has several charges due to violence, and they were refusing to get him out of my apartment. And she said she was afraid that he would be killed. He had a lot of problems when he went to prison. His prison record is not squeaky clean. He was being violent in the prison. He was sent to the medical infirmary with a brace around his neck. He was put in a segregated housing unit. He was fighting other inmates, getting drunk off of hooch and stuff like that inside of the prison. And he got out the first night out of prison getting extremely drunk, passing out, attacking me in my home, throwing up all over the living room floor and leaving the throw up in the living room, attacking my boy, pushing my 22-month-old son off of the couch, making him hit his head in his bedroom, in the living room, in the kitchen, attacking me in the kitchen, attacking me in the living room, attacking me in my son's room, running me out of the house with my baby, attacking me in the streets with my child. I went into this restaurant, Baytown Seafood in Conroe, Texas, that was on the same block as my home, and I asked them to dial 911 after I called 911 several times from my home over a several-week period. and Austin John Meadow was attacking me, causing me not to be able to call 911 while he was attacking me and my child. And I had a gun at this point in my purse. My gun from Academy I bought, it was a 380, and while he was attacking me and my son in the house, I tried to call 911, and he tried to barricade us in the house. He tried to block the door. He started blocking the door and snatching at my purse while I was trying to get my cell phone to call 911 as he was attacking me with my son in my arms, knocking me down in my living room. So I ended up running to get my gun, and I put it in my purse and ran out with my baby in my arms and ran out of the house. I had to fight my way to get out of the door because he was trying to slam the door and keep me from leaving while he was attacking me. And I had to pry the door open with my hands with my baby in my arm, the gun on my shoulder in my purse. And when I got out of the door with my child, he almost slung us down the stairs because I was on the second floor. And I begged him, holding on to the rail, and my baby, please do not throw us down these steps. And I got free from him, and I ran, and he kept chasing me, trying to tear me down in the streets with the baby in my hand. And a white woman, I flagged her down screaming. She pulled up in the car with a male passenger and said, I don't want to get involved, but I'll call the police. And she called 911, and he started running back towards my apartment. I was tired from running and being caught in the street with my baby in my arm, and I walked into the restaurant, and I walked past the old people in the front, and I asked the man who worked there in the back of the restaurant if he would call 911. And the man said yes. I told him I had my baby. I said, will you please call 911? My child father is attacking me outside. And he said yes. And he started calling 911. Austin John Meadow came in the restaurant looking for me, walked out, came back in, saw me hiding behind the man, and came back there and started attacking me. And I put my baby down while he was attacking me, and he started acting real violent. The man was trying to calm him down and restrain him, and then he snatched up the baby and started being violent with him too. And that's how the shooting happened. That's how he got shot in the leg, because he been abusing us. So Cynthia was like trying to work with the police department while I was in the jail to put a hit on me about my evidence because of Austin, because I shot her son. But she knows the evidence that he was abusing me and my son, and then they let him sue me for my baby while I was in there, and then he got locked up for being violent or something. And then Cynthia sued me for my baby while they was in there trying to murder me, and kept resetting the trial and trying to kill the baby and starve me and this baby. And so when I went to trial, no, I didn't go to trial, I went to the pre-trial. They dropped the charges, but they had let Cynthia sue me, and she got temporary custody of my son, and they set a trial date for December 2019. So they released me August 22nd, 2018, which was 3 weeks before my trial date. My trial date was September 3rd, 2018. The fetus was in me. People knew that what they was doing to me. They knew the evidence. They knew God said I was not guilty to drop the charges, and they just dropped the charges, let me go, and had set a trial date for December 2019 to sue me for me and Austin to go against each other, and me and Cynthia to go against each other. And I won that trial, but they had my family and friends and shelters set me up to not be able to come into their homes or facilities because they made me lose my apartment by holding me in the jail for 10 months. I had that apartment for almost 3 years, and my son was born and brought home to this apartment and raised in this apartment while Cynthia O'Vera's son, Austin John Meadow, was in prison and in the county because of his violence. And this was me and my child home, and this convicted racist felon who is my child father came into our home attacking us, and all the whites in the community were well aware that he was abusing me and this child and that I'm pregnant, and they are doing everything they can, including hiring my own people, hiring people from all these different nations, having people in establishments and everything continue to starve me and leave me outside, and they trying to just give me cigarettes and stuff, and you know, like they can discredit me, but not really wanting to just have my back and let me recover and have somewhere to put the evidence out. They are trying to snake me. And so in December, I went to the custody hearing after Travis Guns was pulling guns out on me at a location where they set that up, and I made it to all the custody hearings. Austin didn't show up. Cynthia was there with fake lawyers, falsifying documents, falsifying records for her, and I could not afford a lawyer. They would not appoint me a lawyer for the family court, and my family was trying to put me out of their home before the custody hearing, and my family was aware that they were trying to murder me and that I was pregnant in the jail, and my family was aware that I was innocent and that they were trying to murder me because I was innocent and pregnant. And so my family staged to put me out of their home before the custody hearings, and then they allowed Cynthia to get custody of my son, and everybody knows that she's a pedophile and that she's in this satanic Illuminati where they molest children and take slaves, black women and children. And so I'm being set up, and that's what's going on. So now I'm finna leave this property and go get me some money. So go get me some something to eat over here. I don't got money like that to eat. Hold on, they making noise over here. I got a few more things that I need to say before I leave this property. Hold on, because I thought I would be able to say it by the Wendy's, but I'm not able to say that. But they've been they've been starving me, poisoning me, trying to fight me, and abusing me with this baby, making me walk miles, bleeding, having sex with me, and trying to bust the baby in the head through rape because they know I don't have nowhere to go. So this is what they've been doing to me since I left the jail in 2018. They've been leaving me outside, and then the man will come to me and pick me up and say he'll help me, and he'll bring me somewhere, and then he'll be like, you gotta have sex with me. And then they try now. I've been doing it because I didn't have a choice. I was starving, and they made me have to do it. I was needed somewhere to stay, and they made me have to do it. And they said they was gonna rape me in the jail. I don't have count of how many of them that they have made me do this with, and they are continuing to follow me and try to make me have to do this. And now I don't want to do it at all, because at first they was tricking me at first and having some men try to pretend like they didn't know about my case and that they would help me, and they was really set up to rape me like they said they was gonna do for the United States government, because they believe in raping people and mutilating people who they feel have wronged them, or who's not complying with the racist white American standards of being able to abuse black women and children in this country. And they got black people in office working with them. They got black people who are therapists, doctors, nurses working with them to let them get away with this, which is why I have been calling out for people to rescue me and my children out of this country from the beginning. I have been saying this, and for me to open up my mouth and say that means that there was too many people involved in a conspiracy who worked for the state, who was gonna be down with letting these white people murder me and my baby and helping them, and then helping them to rape us. So that's why I automatically was starting to call out for people to help us get out the country. And then they got people who are gang members coming up to me pretending like they want to help, and they're not really trying to help. They're just trying to continue to rape on me and then try to discredit me because my stomach is so small. And the reason, because they have been doing this for so long, is 2021, and this baby is still alive. And because they have been doing this for so long, so 2018, 2019, 2020, and now it's 2021, that's 3 years, and this baby been in me. So they want to murder me now because they all have been doing this to me and this child. And honestly, I'm not that fucked up about it, because I'm like, God is the one who put his hand over my body and healed my body when they had made me pass out in this cell from something they spiked. I don't know. God is the one who put his hand over my belly and made my belly start back moving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really that afraid, you know what I'm saying, about the consequences of what they have done or the results of what they have done. You know, I'm more concerned about my child that is alive that they threatened to rape, and he's 4 years old, and you do not want your 4-year-old, even your 22-month-old with them from this time frame, from 22 up to 4 years old. You don't want your baby around these people. You don't want your baby around people that will starve you and rape you and then lie and then molest your child, and he don't know any better, and he trusts them, because you know you don't want your baby around these people. And so I've been crying out to get out the country, and they got these people trying to act like they helping me just so they can discredit me. And I'm telling you, it's really fucking angry. It's making me angry, because I just need to cry out to Africa I need to cry out to Jamaica. I need to cry out to any of the tribes like, hey, I'm black, I'm African American, and they out here doing this to me for these devils, and I'm not lying. I have never contacted you all before. I have never reached out to y'all before, and so why would I be making it my business to reach out to y'all just to tell y'all lies? I'm not in jail. I don't have charges, so what reason would I have to not want to enjoy my life and be taken out by men every night and enjoying my life? I'm pregnant. I can't fuck them no more. I'm bleeding. I can't keep doing this shit. I can't keep letting them take advantage of me. So yes, I need to let these women know I'm calling out to Africa. I'm calling out to Jamaica. I'm calling out to all the women all over the world that have black in them, because this is very serious for them to be over here worshiping whites and doing this to me and thinking that they gonna punch a baby in my belly after they done did this for 3 years. So they got thugs wanting to run down on me with guns. They threatening to cut up my body. They threatening to do all of this stuff to me, which is why I'm calling women, black women from all over the world, get yourself over here. God said that we need you. And see, I wouldn't be doing it because I'm an American. I'm an African American woman. We be caught up in our own life, but they out here persecuting us for these white people, man. And we need your help because we blood.